A moment that captured a turbulent era. A moment that intersected the 1960s and the Olympics and the Civil Rights Movement and San Jose. A moment that would not have happened without John Carlos. Along with Tommy Smith, his San Jose State teammate, Carlos created an image that has come to symbolize a troubled time in American history, but was spawned on the campus where they developed their athletic skills and passion for social justice.
So a lot of people felt that John must be the most committed of all. Why? Because he was the loudest. He was the one most likely to go off on you about it. He was the one most likely to bring it up and talk about it.
John Carlos was born in New York City and made the choice to accept a track scholarship at East Texas State, where he won nearly every race he entered. This gained the attention of two San Jose State sprinters who were trying to build something special on their own team.
Myself, Lee Evans, and a few other athletes wanted the fastest collegiate team in the world, and we needed one of the fastest people in the world. John said, well, I heard there was a lot of stuff going on here, but I see a lot of smoke. I'm bringing the fire. And that, me and Evans looked at each other and we said, okay, he's the one.
With Carlos aboard and helped by the tutelage of future Hall of Fame coach Bud Winter, the Spartan runners built a reputation as Speed City, making them all natural contenders for the USA Olympic team. But as the 1968 Games in Mexico City approached, the country was in tumult over social and racial issues as well as political assassinations. An African-American leader on the San Jose State campus, Harry Edwards, proposed a boycott of the Olympics by American black athletes to protest the policies of IOC President Avery Brundage. Carlos eagerly joined the discussion.
When Jesse Owens came in and said, if you do this, you'll never be able to get a job, and Carlos told him, hey, I don't have a job now. So show me who else has come home from the Olympic Games and had a job and gotten the kind of breaks that we see the white athletes getting. And so when he said that I'm in, about as far as the Olympic Project for Human Rights was concerned, it had a ring of genuineness about it.
As the boycott talk percolated, Carlos joined his fellow Spartan runners at the Olympic trials and tied or set world records. Off the track, a decision was made to abandon a boycott and allow athletes to protest in their individual ways. This sent Carlos and Smith to the starting blocks in Mexico with a vision and a mission.
Second attempt now to get them away. Peter Norman did get a good start, I thought. Smith is doing well. His leg seems to be standing up okay. Look at Carlos go in the center of the field, and Questad is not beaten by any means. Peter Norman running beautifully, and he's got them heading into the 100 meters. Peter Norman is flying on the outside. Here comes Eigen Hare of West Germany. He's a threat. So too is the Trinidadian Roberts. In the center of the field is Tommy Smith running through. President Peter Norman runs a place.
Gold for Smith. Bronze for Carlos. After crossing the finish line, they met briefly before walking to the podium.
And I told John what I was going to do at the last moment, and he said that yes, he would agree. I mean, he did agree because we were both very hard-headed individuals sometimes. I had the gloves, so I said I'm having the right one, and he said I will have the left one, and we knew what we were going to do.
The next few minutes sent a message to the entire planet.
The phenomenal courage that it took to do what they did with such symbolism, such commitment, such power, and then to walk away with their heads up.
The reaction and blowback was immediate. The IOC expelled Carlos and Smith from the Olympic Village and suspended them from the U.S. team. They returned to San Jose where their closest friends embraced them, but many others did not.
And once we got back, there was no support. There could have been many reasons, but I do know there was no support by people in terms of what we had accomplished and why we were sent back. That was terrifying, and I think had I been on the other side of the fence, it would have been dishonorable for two athletes to come back with really no support.
We got hundreds of death threats. I did not share those because I didn't want people to know how really vile this situation had become.
Carlos did manage to persevere during his post-Olympic career and had one of track and field's greatest seasons in 1969. He tied the 100-meter world record and led San Jose State to an NCAA championship with 3 personal first-place finishes.
And what was amazing about this man, the speed that he came out of the blocks with, he could hold that speed the entire 100 meters.
For many years, Carlos's Olympic protest shadowed him through personal ups and downs. He finally reconciled with the U.S. Olympic family in 1984. Carlos continues to lecture about his life and civil rights today. In 2005, a statue honoring Carlos and Smith and their moment was dedicated on the San Jose State campus, a fitting punctuation mark to their Declaration of 1968.
And I hope when people pass it, that they will remember that these two guys, men on the victory stand, did not represent just themselves, but those who know that there's a fight to be fought, and each day a new battleground to fight it on.
Tommy Smith entered the San Jose Sports Hall of Fame in 1997. Tonight, Smith is joined in the hall by the same man who joined him on that Olympic medal podium. John Carlos stands on his own, however, as an extraordinary athlete and fearless voice who managed to grab the entire world's attention and never let the world forget what he stood for.